Hey everybody, welcome back. Northernlion, that's me. It's the Binding of Isaac, Afterbirth Plus, which is why I'm also going greedbut.com/plus. And I'm looking now, it seems like a big one today. Is Isaac Baby on the, he's not on the charts. Please. Wonder if I can go greedbut plus, one second, search myself. If I had the chance, I'd ask the world to dance, cause I am searching for myself, 12 best, 328 lately. No. Where's... I ain't seen how many runs we've done. The thing is, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's just... It's a daily time. Let's go. It's Judas. And I believe this one goes all the way. So there's... danger? It's fraught with danger and peril. Yet at the same time, if we get a little bit of HP... the world's your oyster. You know, you're starting out in a great situation on any Judas run. Offensively, you've got actually, like, literally nothing to worry about. You start with 4.72 damage and the ability to raise that up to, like, 6.5 on any room that it's likely to matter on. The extreme downside is obvious. You start with almost no HP, but HP is usually... Wow. That's a lot of money. HP is usually one of the easiest resources to get, especially when you get 28 cents from a single golden poop on the first floor. Well, like maybe we got 20 cents from a single poop on the first floor, but still. There's our shop. You gotta check it. I mean, this is... You're asking for trouble if you don't. You gotta take a spirit heart. I mean, it's almost like you sorta gotta take the school bag. I like having Book of Belial. But to be able to hold a second spacebar item that is maybe like, one's for damage and one's for utility or something like that. Like if our second spacebar item can, you know, be, I don't really want a D4 necessarily because the run's great, but, you know, this is what I was looking for actually. If it could be something along those lines, something that doesn't necessarily give us offensive benefit, even though that would also be fine, but it provides us, you know, with maybe a card. That's a good example. Or blank card even is an even better example. Then we've got kind of the best of all worlds. So, one key is probably shop territory for our next floor. And then we'll make sure that along with that, we get another one ideally. One second. We got a recording session coming up soon. I'm just making sure. Yeah, there we go. Just making sure that it's not Dan being like, hey, I arrived early. Because I would scrap this daily in a heartbeat to play Rainbow Six Siege, but that's my own personal problem. That's my own... It's not... Compulsion would be the right word. Addiction is got all sorts of negative connotations, like an A&E television program called Intervention and all that, but, alright. Very easy fight. HP. We do need it. Usually first floor I turn on my nose at HP and I say, I don't want this HP. Give me some DPS. This is not one such situation because our DPS is just excellent already. We will play this. Blood bag would be awesome, you know, to get to something over 1 speed would be nice. But even just getting a lot of money out of that is pretty great. Gotta remember, it's hard for me to remember this, but we gotta remember to shoot poops. They could give us spirit hearts. What did I step on? Did you leave creep? Am I losing it? Can't go to the curse room. Literally would probably kill us. Did I walk into a fire by accident? I don't know, man. I just don't know. I was wrong, by the way. We're not dealing 6 damage when we choose. We're dealing 8 damage when we choose. Close to 9, actually. It's not that I thought 4.71 or whatever it was doubled is 6. So I forgot Book of Belial is a genuine doubling. This is great. 1.6 speed. The range is more or less is less relevant. It's not more or less irrelevant, but it's less relevant. Take a spirit art to preserve ourselves. Take chaos because it's interesting. High Priestess and the Fool. We can get an advantage out of both of those, to be honest with you. So what we're gonna do is still no bombs, which is a little bit of... Oh, you got the wrong card. You got the wrong card. It wasn't me. It was the one-armed fool, which is what we're looking for right now. We might want to re-roll that, but we don't have the money just yet. So, what we're going to do is come back here. And this is where you could really take this run into high gear if you get a little stroke of luck here. The Gauze is nice, but it's not the stroke of luck we were looking for. So we fool a card out and come back this way. We'll take High Priestess with us. And probably be on our merry way, but if we get some more HP... Oh, we didn't even take the pill, did we? Oh, that would have really changed up my thought process there. But if depending on what we get from the boss, we might go back and play the Blood Bank, because it could pay dividends long-term, beyond just making the run a little better. Because the run, it's still very, very slightly fragile, because if we see things we like on the Deal with the Devil, we're going to want to take them. And that's going to put us a little bit under the gun on HP, potentially, but depending on what the items are. But, I mean, you know all this by this point, I'm assuming. So I was thinking, you know, are we going to use a High Priestess or the Haunt? Turns out the correct answer is we use them both, I think. Not High Priestess or the Haunt. High Priestess or Book of Belial, I mean. Book of Belial took care of the minions, and then the High Priestess took care of Daddy. Give me angel deals. I'm not paying for luck. That's looking for luck in all the wrong places. Looking for luck. See, that's why you sometimes want to take chaos, like, secondarily. You want to hit your Deal with the Devil first. This actually, like, genuinely could leave me in kind of a behind-the-8-ball situation, because I never know what's in that Deal with the Devil. Could be Brimstone, Mom's Knife. Could be trash. Maybe we got a better item. Book of Shadows I don't think is worth it. What is this book? It must be Book of Revelations, right? So now I'm put in, I wouldn't say necessarily an awkward situation, but it was like, do you really want to pay 15 cents for Bookworm? And the answer is no. Instead we got Pentagram, and I'm not going to act like, oh, we're some kind of genius for this. Because it's really just an incredible stroke of luck. But yeah, Pentagram, of course, is the right choice. So now we got two good books. I'd prefer Book of Shadows maybe to Book of Belial at this point, but it's very, very, very good. Alright, well, got an exploration bonus nonetheless. Can't make it in there. Just a little light on HP. And we really should use Book of Belial more frequently. You know, there's no... Oh, but as soon as we hit control, it switches off the Book of Belial effect. So don't get too smart for yourself. You shouldn't switch books until you need them. So that was a bit of a waste of a Book of Belial there. I believe that was the secret room. And as a result, find myself mildly perturbed. Excuse me. Lazarus Rags. Not very good. But you never know when it's going to come in handy, right? So now we can come back and go to our boss trap room, which is actually a mob trap room. But I don't think... that was dumb. I don't think we necessarily want to do that until Book of Belial's ready to go. And just because we have HP via Book of Revelations, we shouldn't feel emboldened to waste it. There's no reason to be overly aggressive with it. Ooh, that's actually extremely nice. The 2 luck upgrades we knew were coming, but then I was looking up here at these shopkeepers, and I'm like, okay, a little bit of extra money. And even though it's Curse of the Blind, and this is risky, it's not very good, but it was kind of worth it, I think. It was worth it to try. Knowing it was chaos, that really could have been anything. It could even have been Linger Bean. Not really what we're looking for, but, you know, our heart was in the right place. We're so far ahead of schedule for Boss Rush that it's like comical. So don't change... Oh, my lord. Don't change books here. We've got an interesting run. More than just a powerful run, which this also definitely fits the bill of. We've got an interesting run. I'd say probably the most like glaring improvement that we could make on this run is if we can get a rate of fire increase. I'm kind of hoping that skipping that first floor deal with the devil, kind of hoping that skipping that first floor deal or second floor deal with the devil gives us an opportunity maybe to get deals with the angel that give us great items for free. But it's always a crapshoot. You never know how it's gonna go down. But, you know, if we can get a free Brimstone, that would be better. And in the end, I'm not trying to disparage Chaos. Like, you know, you're probably thinking I'm being like a great betrayer to one of my best friends in the game, the item known as Chaos, that won us so many Greed and Greedier mode runs that, you know, it's like sacrilegious to badmouth. I'm just saying, it does make that first deal with the devil worse. Probably. In most cases, it does. Sometimes it's going to make it better, but mostly it's going to make it worse. But every other room has the potential to be better as a result. So it's not that I think Chaos is bad. It's just bad temporarily, and then it could be a game breaker long term. Cuba meat, nothing else. Ball of bandages, nothing else. That's to be expected, honestly. The third floor is usually kind of like a holding pattern. So here we go. Now, the number one thing I gotta fear here is fear itself. Look, I don't really know what the expression means, but John F. Kennedy said it, and to honor his memory, I've never been afraid of anything but fear as a result. Actually, it's a great quote. The only thing to fear is fear itself. It's literally false, but it's a great quote nonetheless, because it's saying like, hey, what? You shouldn't be afraid. You should be afraid of the fact that if you get afraid, it's going to change the way you act, and as a result, then you'll have something to actually be afraid of. And I'm like, oh, it's pretty deep, JFK. Yeah, I will say, I hope this isn't too soon, but there is some irony in that quote coming from a dude who got basically killed in a random sort of, oh, we gulped petrified poop, in a random sort of occurrence, right? It's not really a freak accident, but, you know, I'm sure if he had that knowledge that Albert Finney had from Big Fish, he would probably be like, and maybe a random assassin, alternatively the CIA. One of the two would also be afraid of those as well as fear. Okay, so we got tons of cash. Probably. All of them paid out, which is kind of amazing. Got about a 41% chance of a deal with the devil, it seems. And you know what? I'm using my orbital. What I was going to say is the only thing we have to worry about is using our orbital when we shouldn't. But I actually think that I'm pretty much okay with doing this. First, let's see if we get this deal with the angel, because we could also, of course, I mean, whether it's a deal with the devil or the angel, we'll evaluate the items as they come, but we could use our bomb to kill the angel and get a key piece, which is like some points. I'm content with using euthanasia, and then this is spun. Don't take that yet, because I think we're going to get rid of Book of Belial for Guppy's head, which is just a better offensive item, I think. Then we'll take the pill. I'm drowsy. Good to know for the future, depending on how this run goes. And let's keep moving on our merry way here. We should have used bombs to get into the double key room. I can't remember if we had the bombs necessary to do so at the time, but we should have done so. I don't think there's going to be too much dissent over what the right decision is there. This run so far, with the exception of maybe our timing on Chaos, has been relatively almost, I would say, like, objective. We didn't get the charge out of that. Like, the decisions that we've made have been very clear, I think. Some people, maybe they take Book of Belial over Guppy's head, but I don't know. I don't buy it. Especially after getting the damage bonus from Spun. You're like 10 damage, or one-hitting most enemies. Kind of want to open one of those. We sort of can't. I think what you do is you, we got a little bit of time, so don't rush. But you go to the shop, and then in the shop, you buy a key. This is actually great. We don't care about homing bombs, really. So you blow this guy up. You get a nickel. Lovely. You buy this. We're going down to a floor that can't have... Okay. We're going down to a floor that can't have a blood bank unless it comes in a non-arcade format. So I'm thinking you just come back this way. Man, I've never before wished I saved extra keys like that. Mom's bottle of pills, balls of steel. It's like not at all worth it, but sure. A little bummed out is not the right word, but disappointed very slightly that we could have done things better on that floor. Just improper use of our keys, but like in terms of not just points, but in terms of like the way the run is looking right now. This is you can't really ask for a better run than this. You can get a better run than this, but if you asked for it, you'd be kind of a jerk. Way ahead of schedule. Gonna continue being ahead of schedule. Little Steam sale. Probably a little bit too much damage taken, but it's a Friday daily. Slow your roll. We got trinket space. Oh, I am actually not proud of that. Just make sure you're actually using Book of Revelations. You get your cube of meats up. There's a mild chance you might be able to get a third level, which is worth something. 5 extra bombs, and immediately kind of a waste, but that's okay. Let's go do the rest of the floor. As far as I'm concerned, these are like, I don't know if they're the ideal dailies. From a player perspective, they're very nice, though, because they're like, they're easy, you know? As long as you don't die on the first floor, the run's gonna carry you. It's like getting a degree in something where the job market is hot. As long as you pass your courses, you're probably gonna live a decent life, right? I mean, living a decent life is an aggregate of many things. So it's gonna put you a leg up on where you would be otherwise, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's the same as this daily. It's like, as long as you don't totally mess it up early, you just gotta kind of, I mean, you're still competing. I wouldn't say coast it to the finish line. You know, it's not like Red Bull's downhill jam, or Tony Hawk's downhill jam, for that matter, but the pressure is, to some extent, off, because you're not constantly going like, is this the right way to play it? And, like, is this the real life? Is this just fantasy, etc.? For one key, I'm actually pretty happy to get Mama Mega. It may open a deal with the devil on this floor. I don't know if it works like that. It definitely opens Boss Rush, but I think it's because Boss Rush is like, from the lore standpoint, it's like a hole in a wall. Whereas the deal with the devil is some kind of mercurial portal or something along those lines. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Mama Mega's great here because it's going to speed us up. It's going to make doing the rest of this floor quite nice. Any enemies that don't spawn other enemies are going to die like instantly. Great time to get 9 lives. And we got one more big room here, and then we'll just move along. With Chaos, I would be amazed if we didn't get Guppy. Okay. Almost got tagged there. I think with one key, you're still relatively happy with store key. And it did not open a deal with the devil, but a second level bandage girl, the damage, take it or leave it. It's like when you get a pickle with your burger, right? For most people, it's actually a bad analogy because I don't believe it. When I get a burger and it doesn't come with a pickle, I'm like, yo, what's the holdup? I want this pickle. Like, I like when my wife orders a burger at a restaurant because she doesn't like pickles. So if they give her the pickle spear, and no jokes about that, you dirty-minded son of a guns. If they give her the pickle spear, she just gives it to me. No jokes about that either, okay? But anyway, it's like, the pickle is not why you ordered it in most cases. I think that's probably fair. Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me. I wanted to peep this real quick. We'll bounce out. This is an important floor. In fact, I think there's a case you could make that, oh, I'm not flying. That's right. The Depths 2 is probably like the most important floor on any given daily most of the time. Changes from run to run, but much of the time this is like where you figure out if your run's gonna sink or swim. You gate yourself off from a lot of points, or you capitalize on it. Please drop a... Oh, you jerk. Please drop a second Steam sale. Obviously that the words were taken on deaf ears, but... We got our boss fight already, but we definitely do not want to go. Hopeful, but not necessarily optimistic that our item room will have some kind of like, you know, just literally have a guppy item. Preferably the tail, even though our key setup's a little wonky. It's not like we're using many keys after this. And now we're getting hundreds, so. We'll just keep Book of Revelations for now. I guess there's not an enormous need to use it. Dude, the euthanasia shots, when they work, are so good. But yeah, we'll save it for now until we can get benefit out of it, which is actually going to happen like nearly instantaneously. Puberty pill. Liberty Cap is actually more useful. If you subscribe to the belief that Liberty Cap is useful, it's immediately more useful than Store Key. Because we're never going to go to another shop, except ideally on the Blue Womb. And we don't even know if that's going to be a possibility on this run, although it's looking pretty likely. You never know, though. Like, the wrong permutation of bosses on Boss Rush can really slow you down. We don't really have good boss killing items. We're also, like, apparently we're just in the habit of giving points away for no reason, but we don't have great boss killing items. Guppy's Head is pretty good. From a boss context specifically, and you know, we're doing nice damage, but we don't have anything that's like, okay, once every 2 waves we can just shoot a laser and destroy them. But far be it for me to complain. Our run is looking awesome. 72% chance of having a choice of one more item, and even if it's not a deal with the devil item because of the existence of chaos, we're still going to be pleased at the opportunity nonetheless. An Empress card is really nice. Kind of a perfect... Ooh, so is Abaddon. Both of these, you know, damage ups, really useful for us as we progress forward here. So, we'll check for a second secret room real quick. And I think we should fight an angel statue. Because I do believe, as long as you don't get hit, you gain points for having done this. So, instantly I regret this decision. We'll move along here. Yeah, we're gonna find it tough to rank exceedingly well because of a relatively high amount of dumb damage that is honestly like a half reckless play and half having a 2.00 speed stat forever, which is something I've asked for. But still. So peep the deal real quick. I don't know. The body, it seems like it's bad if we take the Polaroid. So pop this real quick. What do we got? Oh, Brimstone. Okay, so that's where you win the run. All right. Tammy's Head is also amazing, but surely, you go here and you go, thank you for Brimstone, which has also given us Leviathan. Now, without being Guppy, we're not in 11 out of 10 territory yet, but we're in very, very strong territory. Now, very important, keep summoning flies. Even if we don't hit these enemies with the flies, but I think we will. We want to preserve a fly army for the next floor. Like, at this point, we've won the run so handily that it doesn't even bear mentioning, but... Now all we can do is hope for a Guppy item when we finish Boss Rush, and, like, I'll be the happiest man in the world. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to score greatly? A lot of people are going to score very well on today's daily, but we're going to be in that camp as well. Pay no attention to this cat. He's being a very silly boy today. He's like, I'm not being a silly boy. You are being a silly boy, okay? Part of being a silly boy is accepting your silliness. And believe me, I would know. So this is why I've been holding this Book of Revelations charge for 10 years. We knew at some point there would be enemies with beams. Kill the one. Kill the one. We killed the one. Thank you. I think that was a spinny dude. What's his name? I always forget his name. You know, he summons the enemies and then he summons the brimstone laser that spins around once you kill the enemies. What's his name? You know his name. It's one of the new boys added into the game very recently, like only 3 or 4 years ago. You know the one. Lovely. We gotta be getting pretty close to being done boss rush. It's a good situation to be in because after that we do have to make the Hush fight. We're going to make the Hush fight, and we're not gonna fight Delirium. It's a numbers game at this point. Don't take it personal, Jake. It's just daily runs. Big mistake, buddy. You got me? I've never been so highly cheesed. Range plus luck. Not really. I mean, it's worth nothing. Let's just call it like we see it. Alright, down to the next floor. With 8 minutes to go until the Hush fight. No problems. What do you do when you got 8 minutes left to go until the Hush fight? Oh, you plan a vacation. You got nothing to worry about here. So, maybe like the very slightest of controversial opinions. After this floor, and after our hopefully 3rd level bandage girl, I would be completely content to just get rid of Book of Revelations, which is a lovely item that is just, it's kind of overstayed. It's the necessity of its function, which I know sounds like I'm a heartless, like, firing manager at a Fortune 500 company. Oh, your services the company have overstayed the necessity of your function. Human number 91734. But no, it's not, you know, we're not casting this item aside. What we're doing is saying, hey, come back tomorrow. I need you in the morning shift, but now go home and spend time with your family. The night shift belongs to items that fulfill a different set of criteria. Really. Hilarious. Okie dokie. Brimstone doesn't always do a great job of breaking those things open, so it's actually, please just give me more enemies. And what do we got here? I don't know if we've used Book of Revelations on this floor, so we should use it quick. We get Conquest, and there's actually, this is one of the few scenarios where I'm like, it's not worth getting rid of Book of Revelations to take Conquest, I think. We can already fly. Conquest once every 4 rooms does give you a nice little offensive bonus, but how much? Oh no. We're gonna do the whole floor, but I just want you to know I'm thinking about it. Is it thinking about me too? Well, is it? Well, is it? Or does it not think that far ahead? Because I've been thinking about the leaderboards. Ooh. This floor is Red Poop City, man. I do not like it. The reason I do not like it, because, again, Brimstone is highly unreliable. Writing's on the wall. When dealing with that, at least, it's highly unreliable. No Guppy Dream. I don't know. We get the once every 4 rooms, beam of light, high damage, crash into me, Dave Matthews Band style synergy, but I just don't know if I buy it, honestly. I don't know, but it would be really good against the Hush, and the present moment, Book of Revelations is doing literally nothing for us, so sure, I'll tell you, you know, once every 6 rooms, that's right. Once every 4 rooms is, crack the sky. Alright, get that yawn out of your system. We on Rainbow Six time? We are not on Rainbow Six time. Okay. Which is good. It means we can be a little bit more methodical in our play here. So there is a play, if we wanted to be super cheeky. Did you see how fast that doppelganger was moving? That's great. If we wanted to be super cheeky, we could, oh, we see everything now. We could use the white pony to play the demon judgments at an incredibly slow pace. If I'm leveling with you, that's just gonna be like real annoying. So I'm gonna not do that. Just peep this room real quick. We don't want to stay. It's just like white pony. It's unreliable in its own way as well. It's not that good. We should save some keys. I don't know. We're kind of at the point. Do we even want Judas's Shadow? Like, we spent a key, so let's get 5 bombs that are also poison bombs. But Judas's Shadow might not be worth the cost it takes here, especially considering we're never going to use it with 9 lives. Like, I think 9 lives is amazing. You don't need 11 lives. Like, if 9 lives was actually 6 lives, it would still be literally 99% as useful as it already is. In most situations, the 9th life doesn't matter. At this point in our existence, at least. There were times. We still got tons of time. Tons and tons of time. We have lost 1 HP. I'm a little surprised I haven't found any Spirit Heart generation. Life does go on, though. Oh, there's our... What a strange location for a boss room. Really? Like, even now I'm looking at it like, Mom's heart is just in the center of the room. It's all good, I suppose. At Applewood. There's one for the BC residents in chat, of which there's probably gotta be at least a few dozen. Anyone else from British Columbia here? What's that? The best place on Earth? I'm trying to think of what the license plate is. I don't look at the BC license plate. Most I just go, honk! You're not dead. And that's a bit of a surprise. Guppy. Guppy. Guppy? Oh, neat. It's like actually not worth it. The damage upgrade is so small relative to the, I mean, it's not a big cost, but to lose permanent Polaroid invincibility is very unnecessary. So, 4 keys. Start here. Black Lotus, usually nice, but I don't know if we want to lose permanent Polaroid invincibility. Similarly, Plan C. It almost tricks you into thinking it's worth it. It's Bookworm. Attack Fly is nice. It might also get us closer to Beelzebub. Oh, dude. We chose wisely. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. I mean, neither of these are any good. Then here, I still think you maybe don't take any of them. We're so happy to be Guppy. Like, that's... Guppy plus Bookworm, really, is super nice. Look at the diligent fly army marching off to war. Beautiful. We do have mega poison bombs, so do me a favor, toss some of those bad boys in there. Apart from that, we're just going to be creating a bunch of flies. This is going to be your average sort of hush fight. It's going to take a while. You're going to probably take a little damage. It's going to be maybe a little bit tedious. Please. But then it's going to be done. And I think we're maybe like 2,000 or 3,000 below where I'd like to be. I cut myself more slack than you'd expect for like dumb damage, but... Or for agreeable damage, like a damage that I think like the average person is going to take on any given run. They're a little bit reckless on this run. We're going to win, and we're going to live, and after this, it's all downhill. Like Guppy, Brimstone, especially when there's occasionally going to be like doubled Brimstone lasers, it's going to be... it's gonna be a riot. But I could have set us up a little better. Very nice position. I had a feeling that was gonna tag us. Very nice position overall, though. I love when he summons flies, because like I think your fly generation with Brimstone and Guppy, it calculates or essentially rolls the dice for like every tick on every collision. So it collides with the flies, and then it collides with the hush. So you're getting like 2 or 4 or 16 times as many chances to get flies. Well, okay, that was extremely close. But then the flies are usually dying to the brimstone laser, so all of the extra flies that you're generating, the entire surplus, is like immediately going to attack the Hush, which is just a perfect kind of economic situation if you think flies are money, which apparently I do. But they're like money in the swinger sort of way. That's money, baby! You're so money you don't even know it. You're gonna go on to direct the Iron Man film and like accidentally kickstart the entire MCU. You're so money. Alright. Take me to cathedral. That's bad. That's good though. Yeah, that's pretty good too. Well, we would like some keys. We probably shouldn't have even spent a key there, except it does give us the added exploration, but if we get like 10 keys, start opening those. If you don't get 10 keys, just enjoy what life's got to offer you right now. Don't get too greedy, because we're in like an unbelievably good situation. We do want to explore everything. Predominantly because we're not on Rainbow Six time yet. But also because we'd like to rank well on today's daily. That's there's a selfless element in it as well. I don't know why the bombs with the tower always seem to cluster like towards the center of a room. Do you think it's because look, not a professional programmer, but I'll tell you the first thing I would think of when I looked at that is that the code for bomb generation is optimized for a small room. So on a larger room, it gives the appearance of not having as much variance. On a small room, you're like, oh my god, there's bombs everywhere, I can't escape. On a large room, you're like, well, they're all in roughly the center quarter. That's what it seems like to me. But I imagine, justifiably, that's pretty low on the list of things to fix. Bad time to get a second Steam sale. So we actually benefit from not picking it up. I'm also not going to go to the curse room. Because the damage... First off, we're guppy. Secondly, the damage we take is going to be more than the points we get for exploration. Oh, dude. I'm drowsy is actually like... It's the perfect pill to use right away. Although, we did also destroy him like nearly instantaneously. Writings on the wall. So I did see some scores that were in like the 60,000s today. We're not going to be there. We're not going to be in the 50,000s. We love it. We like it. We'll try it. And we still have permanent Polaroid invincibility. Just don't pick up any red hearts and everything's hunky-dory here. We don't want moldy bread because it does ruin permanent Polaroid invincibility. These are the worst, man. Yeah, we won't even be in the 50s, but we should be in the mid-40s, and I think that's probably, I think it's probably going to be good enough for, like, I said ooh as if it matters. It's just because the item doesn't get seen that much that I was excited. I think we should be in the top 200. It's not really, it's not really that optimistic, to be honest with you. There's not that many people doing dailies at this point in Isaac's existence. And there's a few thousand. It's not like it's not 200 people and I'm gonna be at the bottom of the list, but it's not a ton of the population is what I mean. So we're just gonna have a respectable rank today. This is just a respectable. This is like your dad's or grandpa's daily. You know, this is a daily. It goes out, brings home the bacon, reads the newspaper, watches Leave It to Beaver. Just a nice, decent damage. Where'd that red heart come from? Nice, decent damage, or actually good damage. Daily. Couple of mistakes, but hey, sometimes that's what gives an Isaac run its character. You know what I mean? And everyone in the 1950s talked with a voice like this, right, NL? Alright, get exploded, and then Give you a little one of these. Very nice. And, okay, we're not going to leave just yet. We're going to try to find our secret room. Didn't even see you there. That would have been great, but it's kind of unnecessary now. Man, the secret room just does not exist. Alrighty then. You know what, we actually should take, well, I mean, it's over, but we should have taken telepathy for dummies and gotten rid of Guppy's head, which is creating a surplus of flies that we definitely do not need, even if we are mildly enjoying it. So I'd just like to get over 40,000 if possible. Would that be doable? And then finish the run. There we go. There's 40,000. And a little spirit heart action on top of it. Never hurt anybody. Did it, and they put a bomb there. We're good to go. Okay, and we're good to... No, that's never going to work, so let's pretend that didn't happen. And, oh, the Bible. That's taking us under 40,000. I can't help but realize, and we'll check very quickly for a second. Secret room. And we did find it. And we can't do anything with it, but we're over 40,000 again. Wait. You'd never expect it. You'd never expect it. Told you. Alright. Good run, though. 44,098. A little better than I expected. But hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.